In this video, I'm going to show you how to use this Microsoft Word document to generate some content and use in Zapier. The document that I'm using is, again, a simple Microsoft Word document. There's a couple of things in here maybe to point out, but if you want to learn more about how do you create a template and some keys about it, then refer to our other web clipper video to learn how to import a template and kind of the anatomy of a template. But I will point out a couple of things here. We're going to be using the first name. Now, what we're going to use to trigger this is a Shopify order with line item support. And we're going to show the person's first name. We're going to show down here at the line items. Now, this is an interesting part of Web Clipper is that we do support generating the Microsoft Word document table lines. So in this case, I'm using some special syntax. Now I'm just using something short here. I'm using this LI, and I'm using the templating brackets and the $sign. So you can see this is a $bracket LI closing bracket, and I have something similar at the end, but I have a / So again, refer to that other video if you want to learn how to create these templates. But the key here is that we're going to show a title for the item that was purchased, the quantity that was purchased, the price per unit, and then the total line items. And then here we're going to show the total price of the order, and we're also going to show the currency. Now I'm going to minimize that, and we'll get into Zapier. Let's create a new Zap. In this case, we're going to use Shopify. I've already got it here in my list. We're going to have new order, and then you can see it says with line item support. So I'm going to choose this one, continue. I'll choose the Shopify account. Okay, now that we have that, we've got essentially the trigger in place. Now what we want to do is create an HTML content for the actual email. We're also going to create an attachment, and I'll explain to you why we're doing that. But let's start with the HTML content. So if you don't have access to Web Clipper while it's in preview, contact us at support@webclipper.io. We'll send you a link, and you can add Web Clipper to your Zapier account. The action I'm going to choose for this one is to create file content, and there's a note here that says this is a good example of using HTML that's generated as purely content. It's not a file, it's actually the content of the HTML document, and we're going to insert that into the email body. So I'm going to choose that, continue, choose my Web Clipper account. So our target document type is going to be HTML. I'll select that here. And I have the template I've already imported into webclipper.io. Now the template is the Word document that I showed you earlier. It's this one right here that I've imported in, and now it's available to me. So I'm going to choose order confirmation. And once I do that, you'll see that it's taken the fields that are in the Word document, and it's made them available here. So I'm going to populate this with data from the Shopify order trigger. So first name, we're going to type in first name, there it is, and line item. Now this is just the title. I'm going to use the variant. I'll choose this, and you'll notice that for line item data, it's just comma separated values here. And that's what Shopify provides, and that's what Zapier supports for line item data. So what will happen is within our template, each of these items will generate a new line item within the template. So the line quantity, price. Oh, wrong field. Price. Make sure we take that out of there. Okay. Then the line total. That's actually line amount. Sorry about that. And this is the one we want here. Okay. Total price is total price. Did it again. Okay. Total price. And finally, the currency. There we go. Okay, now we've got everything populated from our order, and we're going to continue. We'll test and continue. Okay, now this would simply be enough if we wanted to just take this HTML content and insert it as the body into our email. Now, one of the things you have to worry about is sometimes a user may have their email client set up to not support HTML. Sometimes there'll be some email providers, even online like Gmail. Sometimes they'll frown on HTML or embedded content like that. So what I like to do is to also generate a PDF. So if they are having any problem reading it, they can just refer to the PDF document. And usually these email providers don't like scrutinize a PDF document. It allow it to format it properly. So I'm just going to use the other action within Web Clipper, and I'll show you that. Now the nice thing about these, if you're familiar with Zapier at all, you know that you set these up one time and you have it in place, so you don't have to think about it again. But instead of creating the actual raw file content, I'm going to create a file itself. So I'm going to choose file, and I'm basically just going to go back through what I had done earlier, which was to populate those fields. So this time I want an actual PDF document. We're going to use that same template, of course, and let's go in and fill in our data here. Okay. Line item quantity. Boy, I do that a lot. Let's see. Line amount. Total price. And finally, currency. Okay, now we've got this populated the same way. So we're going to continue. Test and continue. And let's go in and add our Gmail action. We want to send an email. I use my personal account here. And I'm just going to send it back to myself. Now I can do that, but why don't we just use the one that's in the order? There it is there. We'll say thanks for your order. And for the body type, I'm going to choose HTML. And I'm going to insert that in here. And this is going to be from the create file content. And you can see the content here. I'm going to select that. And I'm also going to do the attachment. And that came from this action. And we'll put this public URL in there. And we'll continue. And let's test it. Okay, and you probably heard my email client. And this is why I want to show you why I did the body as well as the attachment. Now, if I go over here and take a look at this, you can see that Gmail on the web doesn't really like it. It may be thinking it could be something that's malicious, but for whatever reason, the formatting doesn't look so great. But that's why we go ahead and add the attachment to it. So in the attachment, you can see that email, and you can see my first name's been populated, the item's been listed, the quantity, the price, and then the line item total, and then we have our total here. So all of that's been populated properly, and I want to show you, although in the Gmail Online client it's showing you this, I have both of these open, and let me show you what this looks like. Now within Apple Mail, you can see that the data is formatted properly. Now Apple Mail by default just shows a PDF document, but this is just an attachment here. But you can see that the information looks fine here, and I also happen to have Outlook on this, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now Outlook by default will not download the pictures, but I'm just going to choose download pictures, and you can see it looks perfectly fine here as well. But if they needed to, they could always refer to this document, and they may even like having the document so that they can save it somewhere. Then we go back. So now that we have this in place, of course I'm done editing, and I can turn my Zap on, and I'm ready to go. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at support@webclipper.io. Hope you have fun. Thanks.